Hello, welcome once again to another whiskey review with me, the Whiskey Novice. It's good to be here with you as always. It's review number 60. Let me think. It's review number 65, part 3 of my series. For the love of Pete, where I'm looking at some peated whiskies. Just because I like them, it's the crack. And it's time to return to Islay with a Lagavulin. Lagavulin 16 to be precise. This one's been around a while, hasn't it? Introduced to the classic Malts collection from Diageo, their owners, in 1988, I believe. That's nearly older than me, this whiskey. And it's been around a while. We're looking at a maturation of ex-bourbon, and I'm going to suggest, maybe I'm wrong, that there's ex-sherry casks involved here. I did do a little research, but couldn't put my finger on anything. Just couldn't get the answers that I was looking for. Bottled at 43%. It's Diageo, there's colour added. It's chill filtered. That's what we expect. But it's Lagavulin 16, isn't it? So, let's get into it. Sweet. Tropical fruit. I've said this of Lagavulin before, that I think a signature for me of theirs is there's a tropical fruit thing. Pineapple, earthy smoke, pine resin. I said earthy smoke, it's like a burnt out bonfire. But all that smoke, yet again, hides behind an awful lot of what else is going on. Brightiness, another thing we're expecting. I said about pineapple already. Yet again, I would suggest there's a meatiness of it. It's like ham and pineapple, not just pineapple, but there is that meatiness going through it. It's quite an oily nose feel, which I've found in a few of the Diageos, the Oban, the others. Mixed hill, which would there's with this suggestion and the start to the feel of some sherry maturation going on in there. There's a slightly synthetic note of, here's one for you, freshly molded perspex or plasticky thing. I don't know if you've ever smelt like a freshly molded something, perspex or plastic. It's just been freshly molded straight out of the mold. There's a very, very specific smell to it, and I find it here. That constant thread of earthy smoke and tropical fruit, and also, and weirdly, and this is something that every now and again, step away from your glass, go back, and even from a distance, coffee liqueur with this. But I get a strange coffee liqueur note just coming from the background of the glass. Maybe just me. Sweet and sour. Also a hint of brine, so there's smoke. Yeah, the real smokiness now starts to come through. Earthy yet again. It's a bit of a battler, this one, in that it's fresh, but there's darkness there too. It's a freshness, but also a darkness. And that ham and pineapple that I was talking on the nose starts to come through on the palate. And I think what that darkness is, it's like barbecue. Take those fresh notes, take what you're barbecuing and slightly char it. Burnt ends, burnt pineapple, burnt, just slightly charring the thing, and that's what I'm getting. A very slight fustiness as well. And then, yeah, like the nose, back away from it, go back in. And this could be the coffee liqueur as well. It starts to become sherried slightly. It's those dark sherry notes that you know from a sherry bomb, you know from the sherried whiskies, which, yet again, I did do a little research and some suggested that there is sherry maturation here. Maybe there is, maybe there isn't, but it certainly feels like there is. Finish is medium to long, very nice, gingery, yeah. Yeah, just the gingery heat with that thread of smoke running the whole way through it, which just tapers off and leaves that sherried maturation notes that we all, well, if you haven't had a sherry matured whiskey, you're looking at dark fruits, raisins, sultanas, mixed pale. All comes through, all hangs out there in the finish. Very good. I did add some water because I think it needs it. As a matter of fact, in my opinion, I know it needs it. Also blackcurrant in that finish. Getting back to it, yeah. Yeah, the addition of water pulls the smoke, pulls the sherry notes out. Slightly less sweet, slightly more earthy, but it all just works better with the addition of water for me. Very, 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 very good whiskey. Very good malt. Just the addition of that little bit of water just balances it all off, takes some of those edges off, brings what should be brought forward. Palate, richer, sweeter. Honey, smoky, yeah. More brine, more sherry influence. It's just, yeah. I'd forgotten how good this was. This is why I wanted to introduce this one in this series. This, I don't know how many bottles of this I've actually had, but it's just always there in my cabinet. And that like you see it from sort of 35 to 45 pounds, maybe slightly more. For a 16-year-old, 16 years old, that ain't bad, in my opinion. Love it. Yeah. Finish just rounds off. It's nice, smoky, more of that blackcurrant. Yeah, very, very nice. It's memorable. Smoky, peppery. Sorry, I lost myself there for a moment. It is just, yeah, I'd forgotten how good Lagavulin 16 can be. I really had. And if you haven't had it, it's a sort of, I would suggest, there's a reason why it's part of the Diageo Classic Malt. Like the rest of them, Talisker, Oban, Clynelish. People knock Diageo. People say, you know, but they do this and they do that because they're a big company, so they're open for the knocks. They put out good stuff. There's a quality there. Nothing, don't take that away from it. Obviously, it's the distillers are making this, but Diageo were still controlling it, and there's a reason why this is part of the classic malts, because it's just a classic. It's a classic peated malt, and a very, very good one in my opinion. So yeah, if you're new to the whiskey world and you're trying to introduce yourself to new things, if you want to introduce yourself to peated whiskey, maybe try working your way up. If you want to stick to Diageo, maybe try Talisker 10 or something like that and work your way in slowly. But definitely, I would recommend this highly. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, if you like this, then you're going to want to try something else. I find it a little harder to find something, and I'm sort of cheating a bit. A little. If you like this, try this. Douglas Lang's Big Pete. Now, this is part of their marvellous malts. I can't remember what they call them off the top of my head. They're but they do a series of malts, and it's a blended malt. It's an Islay blended malt. You're looking at blends of Ardbeg, Caolila, Bowmore, Port Ellen, so it is an Islay. Personally speaking, and I would probably review this at some point, not as good as the sum of its parts, but as a blend, I poured myself, I searched for a while through my collection to find something that to me felt a bit like this, and this is what I finally rested on, because it's got the same sort of pineapple-y, burnt, charred, thick, oily thing going on. I mean, yet again, this is bottled 46%. It's just good whiskey. Douglas Lang know what they're doing. Anybody that knows me knows I'm a Douglas Lang fan, and I will be back to this at some point, along with many others. But I'm just saying for now, if you like Lagavulin 16, and for around the same price, if you haven't had it already, give Big Pete a try, because it's worth a go, in my opinion. That's the way I look at it. There you go. Let's get that off the table. There you have it. As I say, this has been around a while, hasn't it? It's one again that, a bit like the Freud, I'm surprised. Well, I have actually touched on this. I've touched on the Lagavulin. I reviewed the 9-year-old as part of a previous series. I'll fire a link up here, and really liked that. Lagavulin's a very different feel of a peated whiskey for me. There's an awfully fresh tropical fruit feel off it, and all the while it has that almost Diageo distillery oily feel too, which I didn't really hit on this, but it has. There's grip, it's got thickness, it's got heft, and it carries itself well. So I think I'll just wrap that up at that and say no more about it, but I'll be back the next time with another one for you. Until then, here's to your good health. Cheers.
Hey, thanks for watching my video. Please click and subscribe to be notified of further content.